13, you know, the #1 way to prevent gun tragedies in the home is to safely store and lock your firearms. We do live in Louisiana's sportsman paradise, and happening today, the National Shooting Sports Foundation is holding a gun safety event in New Orleans. We're joined now live this morning with NSSF President Steve Zanetti. And tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing today. You're going around trying to safely teach people ways to keep their guns locked up and stored up so these kinds of accidents don't happen.
That's right. The #1 way to prevent firearms misuse, whether it's accidents or unauthorized persons getting guns or burglaries even, is for firearms owners to securely lock them up when they're not in use. At 11 o'clock this morning at the Washington Artillery Park, we're going to have one of our Project ChildSafe programs explained by the New Orleans Police Department and ourselves. And it's a joint effort, a partnership with law enforcement to encourage gun owners. Look, if you own a gun, you need to respect the gun and you need to securely store it when you're not using it.
And speaking of the cooperation between the police department and yourselves, you all will be distributing some of these gun locks to keep some of these guns locked up, correct?
That's right. They're free locks. We'd like people to come out and get a free lock, to also get free information to learn how to properly and safely secure their firearms.
Now, some great news is that the statistics are actually going down on the number of these accidents happening. Enlighten us on some of the statistics and why you think these rates are going down.
Right. Well, every one is a tragedy, obviously, and we're working very hard to minimize every one we can. But just to keep it in perspective, in Louisiana last year, there were about 2,000 fatal accidents from all causes. Okay, about 20 of those were resulting from firearms accidents. That's 20 too many. We want to do whatever we can to help prevent that. And this is an education program to help people do exactly that, to secure guns when not in use. I think the trends are going down because people are more aware of the tragedies that we've seen in the news, and the industry and our trade association that I belong to have been distributing free locks to help people meet their responsibility and secure their guns safely when they're not being used.
Do you think more and more people are still purchasing guns these days, or have those rates stayed the same?
No, firearms, that's an interesting point. Firearm sales are going up. The numbers of guns being sold and owned are going up. About half the households in the nation own firearms. Over 100 million people own 300 million guns. And yet the firearms accident rate have been going down. It's down 20% in the last 10 years. It's a great trend, and we want to see it continue from programs like this and just awareness on shooters to meet their responsibilities and lock up their guns when they're not in use.
So you're saying more people are being responsible with their weapons than in past years?
Right. Unfortunately, the ones who aren't make the news.
And that's certainly a sad situation. Steve Zanetti, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And again, great event happening today. If you're interested in going, it's all happening at the Washington Artillery Park. That's on Decatur Street, starting at 11 o'clock. Organizers ask that you don't bring your personal firearms to this event for lock installation. But again, you all will be distributing some free locks for folks out there if, you know, you do need some of that. So great event. Again, that's happening.